Brian, let me tell you this. This club are absolutely airborne at the moment. What they are achieving, where people keep writing them off, they keep getting up and proving the world wrong. And I'm pleased to say the CEO of said club, Warriors CEO, Cameron George, is standing by. Hello, Cameron.
Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon, Cam. How are you, buddy? Quick one. I just want to find out first. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Are you going to be staying with the Warriors?
Of course, mate.
There we go.
So it's the greatest game of all, rugby league, and working with the NRL about making rugby league in New Zealand the best game, and it's a challenge, but I'm up for it and looking forward to it.
Good
Cam, just on that, so I said on this program that you were heavily sought after, and that's expected, right? You're a gun. But I said, Brian, that Peter V'landys and co have to lock down this guy. He's so important. He's so important to this particular game. I want to ask you this. You saw the rumours about you and rugby union. Did PVL reach out to you, Cameron George, at any stage?
No, he hasn't reached out to me per se, but I spoke to Andrew Abdo and made my heart, my soul, my passion, my commitments with rugby league, and I love this club very much, and I just want to do the best we possibly can for this game, and I really feel like we're in a really good place, and whatever the NRL can do to help the game in New Zealand, I want to lead that, and I just want to do what's best for our fans and for the game in general. So I'm all locked in, mate. I love the sport, I love the NRL, and I love the Warriors. So we're not going anywhere, mate. We want to win this premiership, and we want to turn rugby league into the best game in New Zealand.
Cam, we actually need you. We need you. We need Andrew Webster, and we need actually down the track, Brian. We need Andrew Webster to the power of Cam George to win a premiership. It would be so good for the game if these two guys found a way and got it done.
Well, even if it's not this year, I understand. Well, your New South Wales Cup side, is that 11 in a row now?
Yeah, it is, mate. They're doing really well. David Tangatoa, our coach there, is doing a great job.
Yep.
It's a hard job because you don't know who you've got each week, and you're preparing players to play NRL, and those who get dropped back to you want to get them back up there, and he does an amazing job, and him and Webber are doing outstanding, and we want to win this premiership and take our game to great levels over here.
Just going back.
Sorry, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian, we can't let this slide.
Yes.
Did you say Andrew Tangatoa?
David.
No, David.
I play with Andrew. David, right? So, David went through the ranks at Penrith, Brian. He's got the Penrith pedigree.
The Luke Metcalf injury, how's he going? Because we know he's had last couple of years he's had some injuries and he was flying this year. How is he at the moment, Cam?
Mate, he's disappointed and he's pretty down on himself. We're here to support him and his family, and that's the focus right now. But look, he's a tremendous kid, and he's had a few injuries in the past, and he knows the process we've got to go through here, and we're supporting him through that, mate. And that's our focus. And look, the team are galvanised around him, and we just got to move on. But he'll come with us, and he'll be great around the club as he goes through this lengthy process.
Well, you've got some backup. That was an astute signing, getting Tanner Boyd. I know you got Tamare Martin there, and obviously Chanel. Who do you think Andrew Webster is leaning to?
Mate, bearing in mind I'm not the coach.
Yes.
But look, Tanner Boyd's been outstanding in the New South Wales Cup. And, he kicks well both in general play and also, goal kicking and a lot. And he's been leading the New South Wales Cup around. He's been waiting for his time for an opportunity, and now it is. And, I hope he gets it. But, look, Webby will make that call over the next week in the best interest of the team. But whichever way we go, it's exciting for us. These guys grab those opportunities with both hands and, could really inspire the team. So, very sad about Luke, but also at the same time we've got to move on, and we've got a job at hand with 9 games to go and finish the best we can.
Chatting with CEO of the Warriors, who plays such an important role of the National Rugby League. And Brian, we have a bloke who we only have on this program, people who fit the bill. If you have got a first name that will also serve as a surname, Brian Fletcher, Joel Kane, Cameron George. And we're very happy with that. I don't know if any people have been born as Webster someone, but this coach, Andrew Webster, can you tell us about how you got him? Because you were there at the helm, and who was close? Like share with the listeners who may have got that job, because you've absolutely got the right guy. Everyone agrees with that. But who was on the short list?
Yeah, well, I've known Webby for a long time before that. I was on the board of the Warriors when he was back here coaching as an assistant coach, and got to know him personally, and we became great friends and so on. And then when we went through the process, mate, I was living with Stacey Jones in Redcliffe when we were stuck in Australia, and I came home and cracked a beer open with Stacey. I said, mate, you've got to take him on for the rest of the year, but I need to find someone for, next year and beyond. And I threw up Webby's name, and Stacey looked at me, being a club legend and knows what the club's all about, and he said, mate, he's the right man. And wow. I rang Webby, and I said, do you think you're ready? And he said, absolutely. And I said, right, leave it with me. I said, the next time we talk, it's going to be your job to lose. And I went in and spoke to the owner, and about a month later, I rang Webby, and I said, let's have a chat with the owner. And that was it. That's all we did. And, there was no one else really on the short list, and Webby was my focus to try and get him across the line. And it was easy, and he wanted to be here. And the minute he signed up for the job, mate, he's just done a tremendous.
Oh, Cameron, well done, well done, Stacey too. Like that's I love that stuff, Brian.
Hey, Cam, how is it recruiting kids? Because I remember in '95 when you first started in the NRL, and everyone was saying, "Oh, young kids coming through, all they want to be is All Blacks and stuff." Has that changed dramatically, or is it still hard to try and convince kids to come and play our code?
No, it's changed dramatically, mate. Kids want to play our code now. We've won the last 2 Harold Mats for the listeners under 17s. So we've brought the jumper closer to the kids in school level. And, we've won the last 2 competitions, and they want to play. They go and tell their mates. And we're getting a lot more interest now. And actually a lot of people that have gone to Australia that now want to come back home and play for the Warriors. And obviously you've got to pick what we can as being the best fit for our club. But it's been a really big shift over here, and it's a lot of hard work, but we've got it right. Andrew McFadden's been amazing in the recruitment space. He's built a really good program, and our kids are wanting to be a part of it. So we're starting to see them filter through and starting to see the results in the junior grades.
Brian, what a cheeky good gang! Like, you can hear yourself, listener. This guy, Cameron George, you'd love to catch up with him, have a couple of beers with him. You've got Andrew McFadden, Cappy. You've got Andrew Webster, don't shower next to him. And you've got this man here. It is a great game, Brian.
Yeah, every time we've had a Warrior on, the text board has lit up.
Yeah.
Saying how personal they are. Hey, Ken, can I ask you about young Jett Cleary? Was this, now I don't know this for a fact or anything like that, but was Ivan trying to was he his first choice for young Jett to send him over to the Warriors?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I remember I was in Sydney, and Webby rang me and he said, how about you go out and see Jett Cleary? And I went out and had a meeting with Ivan and Beck Cleary, and Jett was there. And look, Ivan just felt, and Jett himself, that, a change in environment, and probably, to be fair, getting away from, mum and dad respectfully, and his brother Nathan was a good thing. And, Ivan's connection to us and his connection to Webby, working with him, he really trusted him. And we sat in the lounge room, and, Cappy went through a heap of video on him. And the thing I said straight up, to young Jett in the lounge room was, mate, we're not here because of your dad. We're not here because of Nathan. We're here because we truly believe that you could come and add value to our footy club, and we can provide you with a pathway to being an NRL player. And it was about him, the person, him, the player, not about him, the family, the family name. And we still believe that. So, he's slowly but surely developing. And, over here he's probably not under the spotlight as much as what he would be in Sydney. And, he's coming along, really well. And, we believe in him. And Ivan believes in our footy club. So, we really appreciate their support.
Oh, I love that. I really love that. So Nathan's different, right? Nathan is not your regular player. There's 10,000 players who have played first grade, and Nathan will go down maybe, I don't know, he'll be in the top 100 definitely. But I think there's too much of it, Brian. Whether it's the NRLW or the NRL, of the sameness, like the nepotism, right? And I just love that Ivan Cleary has gone, you know what? The best part for Jett is to jettison to another team. And that team being the Warriors. And he's gone to certainly a person who he trusts.
Yeah.
Persons, Cameron George, Andrew Webster, Cappy. And not only that, what I love more about it, Brian, is they didn't just take him. They were reviewing video. And they said, oh, okay, right, I will take you. Well, don't you love that?
Yeah, I do. No, I do. And I suppose it would have been hard on young Jett.
Mate, the NRLW, NRL, there's too much of it.
Hey, Cam, just come to me. How far ahead do you look at your salary cap? Is it like 4 years, 5 years? How far ahead
mate.
You look
forward? It's a moving target. So it's playing the stock market, really, with people and players. And, we're now talking about, 2028. Obviously, we've got Perth coming in 27, so you've got to be aware of that.
Yeah.
Papua New Guinea coming in 28. We've got kids coming through, all sorts of things. So, it's a moving, target, so to speak. But, Cappy's looking at 28, 29. We know what we've got signed for those years, and you work your way back because it just doesn't stop. And the minute you do stop, the minute you'll get beat. And we've got to keep building and not building just to win 1 year. You've got to build to win, consecutive years, and that's our focus.
Cam, I know you're busy and we've got to go to a break and I've got to let you go, but the Warriors on the 5th or 6th of October this year, grand final day, Accor Stadium, Warriors are playing whom?
Oh, I love that, Brian.
Well, I don't care who we're playing. We want to be there. And when we're there, mate, and we get the points, I tell you what, it'll be a great party, and you won't see me for a month thereafter.
Wouldn't
I'll be on walkabout, so talk to me before that day because I won't be there afterwards.
Cameron George, you are a doyen, and I'm pleased to say that by the sounds of it, you're staying in rugby league, which is huge for our country. It's huge for our game, and we're very appreciative of that. The trade hour, thanks to Blue Star exclusive offers, Brian, for
air conditioning.
Blue Star air conditioning.
Thank you, Cam. Thank you very much, buddy.
Unbelievable. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Have a good day. See you. Bye.
Okay, we're going to do something a little bit different here. We teased that Mal Meninga might be after a former Bear, and I say that a little bit cryptically. Brian, have a listen to this. Who is the former Bear that Mal Meninga is talking about?
Mark Soden.
As a suitor.
Kelly Egan.
I think I'm a fan of Jacob Preston. I feel he's a great player and certainly a representative player of the future, no doubt. So we've got to have an open mind to, who we do recruit. Jacob is an instance. Obviously he's played for them. He's a North Sydney Bear junior. So people like that I think are already connected to the club. So every name that comes out there, Jimmy, will be attached to the Perth Bear. It's really is that simple. We'll be in every conversation when someone goes to, wants to sign a new contract or wants to go to market or wants to get out of clubs and things like that. That's
okay. There you go.
Oh, he said it in the first
as
minute.
I threw to that clip, I thought, Mal, please don't mention the name Jacob or preferably Jacob Preston. And we lively.
It's going to be. I mean, I remember when we went down this track with the Dolphins. The Dolphins said only 18 months, and they're not going to be able to field a team. I feel that the fact that Wayne Bennett was there, it was taking a little bit of heat off.
Yep.
That was all the attention, and they ended up getting took them a little while. And so what are we now? 3 years in? Is it 3 years now?
Yeah, about 3 years.
3 years in now, and they're sort of teetering on the 8. So the Perth Bears are going to be very similar. They've got Mal Meninga there, who is obviously a huge name in the game. But we do have a list of some of the players who are going to be off contract. Now, these are stars currently.
Don't read the whole list out.
I'm not going to read the whole list out, but
cherry pick the list. Who would Brian take from this list?
Okay, if I could, and
Yes.
and now it's all salary cap related as well. Pappenhausen would be one that comes to mind. I liked Billy Smith and Connor Watson as a package. I'd like to take Billy Smith as a centre.
It's a rare package. Connor Watson and Billy Smith.
Yeah, I'm taking them together because they're at the same club.
All right.
And then you need some grunt up front. Mitch Barnett's off, albeit coming off an ACL.
Yep.
And then you've got the Matt Burtons, the Prestons. And the other thing is, look, Canberra kids. You've got Xavier Savage, Ethan Sanders, Hudson Young. They're not going anywhere. So you're up against that as well. You're up against they're already comfortable at their clubs. It's going to take a lot to get them out of that. Do you go with players who are, getting towards the end of their career? That's the balance you got to make. Because if you went to Melbourne and said, "Oh, look, they got Sua Failungo, can we take Ryan Pappenhausen off your hands?" That's a player that you would think by another 2 years' time, Melbourne might be happy to let him go.
What about so Mal's taken the ex-Gold Coast recruit manager?
Right, who's that?
Who secured Tino?
Okay.
And apparently there's some.
You know who I'll be the first player I would get?
As Gibbo would say, there's some ducks and drapes.
It's coming to me in the fullback, Trey Fuller. I want Trey Fuller. I want Trey Fuller. I'm taking Trey. I'm taking the meat.
Hey,
I'm taking him on a Friday night. I'm taking the meat tray. He's coming over.
Who are you taking on a Saturday night? If he's your Friday night specialist,
he's coming with me. But you might be able to get David Fafita on a.
Who's your lead person, Brian? If you
it'll be Pappenhausen. I want Pappenhausen.
Would you rather Pappy or would you rather Tino?
Ooh, Tino. But he's not off contract
So
in 12 years' time.
Yeah, but we've got to think about this holistically. So Mal's there. He's taken his recruit manager from Gold Coast, AJ Brimson. Is he a consideration?
Yeah. Well, where are the Titans running?
I know, but they're not the whole team.
No. Don't know. I don't know. It's
So you take Tino,
but
you wouldn't
Tino.
take AJ because of where the Titans are running.
No,
I'm not saying Tino.
I'm not saying that. I've already got Trey Fuller at fullback. AJ's a fullback. Anyway, on Hillstorm. I knew that was you, Hillstorm. You jumped straight in.
Brian, where is David Fafita in 3 years? Is he a Bear?
He, in 3 years' time, I can see him at Penrith.
Oh, really?
On a contract with...
Not Bryce Cartwright, like.
At Penrith.
Bryce Cartwright contract?
They're after him. They went after him.
But what sort... Is it a Bryce Cartwright contract? Or,
I.e., what does that mean?
Well, a bloke who's looking for a second chance.
Yes, second. Yeah, it's saloon. It's saloon.
He's not ready for a saloon, though.
He's playing Queensland.
He's got one more crack at a first-grade contract.
There would be numerous. I reckon 17 clubs who go. If you can get him for $300,000, they would be willing to take a risk on him.
What did the Roosters offer him like 12 months ago?
$1 million.
Yeah.
And he agreed, but then he knocked them back to stay at the Titans.
I remember Gwen. Gee whiz.
If David Fafita come up and his manager rang and said, "Listen, I know no one's keen on him, but he only wants $300,000." You're taking him all day, aren't you?
Oh, every day. Yeah, but we've all fallen.
And
into this
Kurt
trap.
Donohue's coming with me too.
Okay. By the way, yes.
He's I like.
Okay, you could have Kurt Donohue or Dave Fafita. 300,000. Who would you take?
Yeah, or George wants Boost Juice.
Don't deflect.
Say that again.
Kurt Donohue.
Yeah.
Or David Fafita. Both. You got $300,000. Who do you take?
Is this for the Bears?
For whoever you like.
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. I think I'm taking KD.
It's a great lesson in life, though,
I'm
Brian.
taking KD.
Like, can you imagine them at school 100 out of 100 would have taken David Fifita.
You know what I liked about
And
KD?
now we're
When
going,
KD got his bugle broken. He just got up and just said, you know what?
Yep. Mal Meninga, by the way,
Taking it on.
he is the, he's off to the Perth Bears, so there needs to be a new Kangaroo coach. And it seems to be that Cameron Smith's getting a bit of a push. What would Mal Meninga say about Cameron Smith being the Kangaroos coach?
With the right people around him, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. But it's not just coaching. This is the thing about, coaching footy teams is that there's a lot more to coaching. It's you've got some really good people around you that do a lot of the, and you delegate to a lot of the technical stuff and all the all the well-being stuff, all the recovery, all the rehabilitation, all that sort of stuff comes into play. And then the coach is a bit more grander role. It's it's sort of father figure. Building relationships, making sure everyone's happy, making sure that everyone's in the know. There's great communication channels. There's a whole heap of stuff that coaches need. Building rapport with you, with the media, all that sort of stuff. So it's not just you turn up and just away you go. It's a lot more deeper than that. And
Okay,
There you go. Well, Mal would know.
Yep.
Mal would know.
So
that.
where do we land on that? So do we like Cameron Smith doing it, or who would you?
I'm happy with him to take it. The thing is, though, this is the best of the best. So what Mal was saying there about being a father figure and making sure, I feel that you've got the best of the best. They wouldn't need too much sort of cuddling.
No. So if you were giving the job, Brian,
And Cam Smith wanted it?
and Kev Walters wanted it,
Ooh. I'd give it to Kevy.
yeah, he's done the work. I
done-
love Cam Smith, and he will get whatever he wants in life down the track.
I feel Kevy, would
But
be
I
the one.
kind of feel like Kevy.
He'd be so passionate about it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and
Couldn't they not do it together? Or do you?
I'd love them to do it together. And I love Cam Smith, and I hate the fact that I'm being partially against him. But I just feel like Kevy Walters is so underrated in what he's done in this game. Do you not agree, Brian? Like
Yeah,
the
well-
premierships he's won,
Yeah. He was 22 minutes away from.
but he spent the
Grand
time coaching, right?
Yeah.
So what lesson are we sending people?
Yes, I agree. He's done his apprenticeship.
Yes. So
Yeah.
same with the Tigers, and I was anti. I love Benji Marshall, and I love him as a player, what he brings to the club. But he hadn't coached
Yeah.
the younger brigades,
Yep.
right? So if I'm being consistent, I would say that Kevy Walters' resume, he's earned it more so than
And Cam
Cameron
Smith.
Smith.
Yeah,
And Cameron
that's
Smith,
fair call.
so decorated, probably immortal, and one day can do whatever he wants. But
Yep.
right now, to just give him the job, if they are applying
Doesn't
for it,
seem that he's deserved it. Or not
Yeah.
deserved it, but hasn't had the experience. And the thing is now, it's not a lay down misère. Remember when, like years ago, coaching Australia, it was you were guaranteed a win, really.
Yeah.
But now we've got the Kiwis, but
Yep.
now we've got the rise
yes,
of Tonga, we've got the rise of Samoa, even Fiji have improved.
yeah, but they've all improved.
So it's going to take a someone who can handle the media. If you lost your first test, the media will just come out and ham you.
Okay, before we move on to our next segment, Wayne Bennett set to give Lewis Dodd a chance. Before we go on to that, Wayne Bennett, do you agree that you should not be able to coach representative and coach NRL?
Correct. Yeah. For those reasons before, it's too competitive now. But we've got to go to a quick break. And on the other side, more of Joel's hypotheticals.
Dragons NRLW star, Brian, we're catching early too, by the way, who is a Struddies ambassador. They're too smart. They've got on the train early as well. While most of us are getting on the train at Redfern, Struddies were there at Sutherland, and they were ready to go.
What if you're in Hornsby, though?
Well, you know what? Wouldn't have been Sutherland. It would have been maybe...
Janelli?
No, further south.
Liga?
Fig Tree, I reckon.
Fig Tree.
Kasey Reh joins us. G'day, Kasey.
Hello, how are you?
What would the train station be, Kasey, that you have frequented most?
Wollongong, I reckon.
The Gong. Okay, Strutties were there early. This rising star, Brian, Kasey Reh. I need to address something. Now, Kasey, as I was retiring, I was down there in the Gong and I was playing games, and there was a Ray. And they'll give me all sorts of headaches. I think they knocked me out about 3 times. Was that your father? Was it your uncle? Was it your cousin? I know it must be a relation.
Yeah, there's a few of us around, so yeah, I couldn't even tell you which one it was, but yeah, we're a big family, so there's a few of us.
Kasey, tell us your story. How old were you when you first started playing rugby league?
I was 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what were you doing what sport were you playing up until then?
I was a netballer. I grew up playing lots of netball. My mum was a netballer. Actually won a grand final with my mum not too long ago.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, you're a dual international, dual code.
Well, hang on, Kasey. Sorry, he's such a wanker, our man. He has because he's a dual international. He played for Australia in rugby and also rugby league. And he said that only to get himself involved.
No, I'm not.
In the conversation.
I'm not. I
did.
want to find out, Kasey, was it the introduction of the NRLW? Because I'm just working out your age, 19 or 20. Yeah. Was it the introduction in 2018 of the NRLW that you thought, you know what, netball's not for me anymore, I want to give this a crack?
Yeah, well, I obviously had heard about the NRLW when it came into 2018. I think I just started playing tag then, so wasn't until a few years after the NRLW came in that I think we went and watched a game the Dragons played, and I remember Kesey Apps and Elsie Abbott were both playing, and there was a couple of my friends were down there, and we're getting a few photos and stuff, and then I think that's probably when I realised I wanted to get into it.
Now, you're playing 5'8", in jersey number 6. Now, as a father of 3 girls and a former coach of netball, I reckon you were a centre. Is that pretty much spot on?
I was a centre.
Knew it?
Yeah.
I reckon, now this is my theory, netball helps ball players because you've got to find the space to get your...
I agree.
Would you agree with that, Kasey?
Yeah, well, I would actually. A lot of the girls I play with footy now, a lot of them were netballers, so there was a few of us that actually come through netball together and then left netball and went over to play rugby league. And I think one of my good mates, Walker, I grew up playing all my netball with her younger, and then we went into Tasha Gow when we were 6 and 7. So, and I actually played with Evie McGrath as well. We played netball together.
Brian, just on that, it's worth a shout too. So Evie McGrath is going to start as halfback for the Tigers. Is that right, Kasey?
Yeah, yes, that's correct.
Okay, well, netball is non-contact, and you like ball playing. You're the 6. How did you go with, on the other side of the coin, the defending? How'd you go with the contact?
Yeah, I love the contact. I think that's why I love rugby league. When I played netball, I used to get pulled up a fair bit for contact, but I think, I don't know, I love that contact side of it, and obviously my family probably helped me gain a bit of confidence there around the contact. They showed me a lot how to tackle and stuff too. I don't know. I just felt pretty comfortable once I went into that contact side of the sport.
Now, when you say family members, I'm talking about your uncles here. That would have been Glenn, not Brett, I'd imagine, helping you tackle.
Yeah, Uncle Glenn, he did a fair bit, especially when I was picking it up. Actually, everyone said I wasn't allowed to play unless they all taught me how to tackle. So he was actually running at me as well. He was trying to tell me to get playing on me. I was like, I was 14, and I'm trying to play the ball. And he's like, get up, and I was like, be serious? You're about 100 kilos. I'm 14, I can't get up.
Kasey, you're being kind to him. I think he might be 110 now.
Well, Brian, there was a text from Brett from Coleroy, and he said, can you please ask Kasey who her favourite uncle is?
Look, I would get in that much trouble if they made me pick. I'm not saying anything because I know the backlash I'm going to cop for either one of them.
Hey, Kasey, so just on that, right, so you've got uncles and family who, and people who don't know, your family's so decorated down there in the Gong, but on the NRL front, you've got one of your uncles who's a Clive Churchill medalist. You've got another uncle who's his brother, who is a grand final try scorer on a couple of occasions, but he's one of the most capped try scorers in the history of the game. Kasey, tell us about the Christmas parties. It must be very special.
Yes, they are. Christmas is a pretty big celebration around my house. It's probably one time a year where we're all together, so it tends to be a big one. It's very, very celebrated in our house.
Kasey, what about the? How did you become an ambassador for Struddies?
I was up at the schoolgirls trial up at Redcliffe, and I was sort of just walking. I was walking around to my next game, and Jacob just sort of said he was looking at me to be an ambassador, and that was probably he was the first time I probably had ever spoken to him. I'd spoken to a few of their staff members and their media team when we were doing our CHS trials, and then when we were training for CHS up there. So yeah, that was the first time I spoke to Jacob, but I was just sort of walking around, and he just said he was interested in for me becoming an ambassador for the company. So I just sort of said, yeah, I was keen, and went from there.
Wow. Congratulations. The rise of the NRLW, it just seems to be getting bigger and better every year. Tell us about your training. You're semi-professional, I'd imagine. How many nights a week in the pre-season are you doing?
We're 3 nights a week, so we get there. Our schedule, we arrive from around 3:30, and then we probably don't leave till around 8:30, 9 at the moment. But we're in season now, so it'll probably be a little bit earlier. But in pre-season, we're probably leaving around 8:30, 9 o'clock to head home.
Oh, hang on, Kasey, one sec.
What are you writing down there, Shug?
What are you writing down?
Nothing.
You're a bad man, Brian. Okay, he stitched me up here, Kasey. He stitched me up. He's handed me this bit of paper. I've not read this. He says, Kasey, can you please ask Joel about who is the reigning junior New South Wales State Coach of the Year for touch for Struddies? And, mate, I'm sorry, Kasey, but I did love wearing the Struddies gear, I'll say that much. Yes, Brian, that's unfair, mate.
I didn't do that. What about touch? So you were playing netball. Did you grow up playing touch footy as well?
More tag.
Yes.
I played a lot of Oz tag. Did a little bit of touch, but I just preferred Oz tag. I hated, the Phantom calls.
Yes.
Yeah. So
name and shame them, Kasey. Who's a mad Phantom? Who's a mad Phantom caller?
Amy Bostock.
Oh.
And ever.
Okay.
Hey, on behalf of Touch Football, I'm going to counter this. For every Phantom call, there is a tag that could have been tackled 4,000 times they miss. There you go, Kasey. Sorry, I needed to defend the team. Struddies, we love the Struddies team. And what about my man Charlie Baitup? Have you met Charlie?
No, not yet.
He's a Struddies ambassador, Brian. He's on the rise, Charlie.
Now, I'm just looking you're playing the Raiders here. Have you done some video on them? Who should we be looking out for against these Raiders? Who have you decided is going to be their game breaker?
Never beaten the Raiders, Brian, so they're looking for history here, the Dragons.
Yes, we are. We know they're going to be a strong side, but obviously they got Jemima Taufa in the middle there, and she's as tough as they come. So just got to try and weather her through the middle and control her down and slow her down. But she's pretty powerful, and she sets a big task for all of us as a team. So she's one, and then obviously you have Grace Kemp. She's named to come off the bench, so she's another powerhouse they have through their middle. But they also got Zara. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a stutter here. Z, she's playing 7.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, she's going to be at 1, 2. She's an experienced player, and we're well aware of all the ball player that she is, and she's going to be dangerous on that side that she's on. So got to keep an eye out for her as well. And their fullback, actually, she's a very strong ball carrier, so they've got a lot of strike across the park. So hopefully we'll go well.
Well, Kasey, when you crash over, don't forget Sportsbet are giving you Try July. So it's $5,000 for any celebration. Are you aware of that? If you're not aware of it, please, at the Captain's Run, tell all your teammates to get around it, because I feel that the Dragons could be leading this. If you can score 5 tries, that'll be $25K. I'm happy for you to do that.
Yeah. We've spoken about a little bit of the try celebration. A few of the girls got a few good ones coming on. But we'll have to wait and see for theirs. We'll see how they go.
Casey, behind the scenes, there's a big power play here where the tourist is pushing in on Gibbo's territory, and we've got to go. He's been bullying us. And, Brian, thank you so much to you, Kasey Reh.
Great
All
chat,
the best to the
Kasey.
Dragons. Go and break that record, and mate, be a great day for the Dragons. Double header, by the way, down there in the nation's capital, Brian. So go and check that out. Struddy's apparel that elevates your game. You can join the Struddy's squad today. Visit struddys.com.au. Like Kasey, she's an ambassador. Like me, but she gets paid. I don't. Thank you, Kasey.
Thanks, Kasey. Best of luck.
Thanks for having me.
See you, mate. Here he is, the great man. Let's do this for a bit of speed dating.
Hey, Matthew.
Hey, boys, Fletch, Joel. Sorry, boys, I'm on the bit at the moment. I'm
fine.
down here. I have made serious commitments down in Melbourne. I've been taking speckies all afternoon. Yes, it's all.
Yeah, going
all
to
happening,
what are you
mate.
doing down there, Matthew? Are you going to the art galleries? You wearing a scarf? You having coffee in laneways?
Nah, that's not really my go, Fletch.
No.
I'd sort of just like to sort of wander the streets.
Yes.
And drink.
Well, Matthew, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's been breaking news. There's a new virus out.
Yeah, Billy Ray.
It's called lyssavirus. It's rabies-like, and you only get it from bats. And unfortunately, a northern New South Wales man has died after getting the So I'm unaware of bats coming into human contact, because when I always see the bats, they're always hanging up on the telephone lines.
Yeah.
You know, and at night in trees and stuff. They don't really come. You'd have to go and attract the bat. Are you someone
Fletch.
who... No?
Nah, Fletch, I tell you, mate, and Trish will testify to this. We lived for about a year in a unit at Manly, just above Manly Cricket Oval there, right?
Yes.
Anyway, what happens is twice a day, what they do, the bats, I don't know where they hang out. Well, apparently it's the Botanical Gardens.
Yes.
They're there. But every single day they will migrate, all fly together to around Manly, around that way. And then the same time every night at 5, late in the afternoon, about 5 o'clock, they would all fly back. And, mate, we stood on the balcony. Honestly, there would have been 5,000 bats.
Yeah,
More,
but
sorry, Trish, more? She's saying more. Going past, and, mate, they look, outside of dogs and cats, and
draw a line
fast,
at bats.
fast horses, I just find, I've said animals unpredictable, so I'm not a Batman anyway.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
I think you are a Batman, just quietly.
This poor man who has passed away from the lyssavirus, because you can only get it if you're bitten or scratched, amongst other things. What I'm saying to you, bats don't usually come into contact with humans. Or you're saying that? Are you seeing? Maybe it's different over in the northern beaches.
No, my old man, when we used to live about half the year in a caravan park up at Port Stephens.
Is that when you shit in the kayak and blame
No, the old man shit in the the old man shit in the bloke next door is kayak, the Beeline Wombat. The Beeline Wombat. I remember here in the morning, darling, that dog jumped back in the kayak and shit in it. And it was the old man. He was Gary. The Alsatian was the Gary variety. But the old man got attacked by a bat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
got attacked by a bat. Well, he says anyway. I mean, when it comes to the truth, honestly, he makes Andrew Johns like the parish priest. He can throw him up. He turned it up and he said, "Mate, dirty bastard, I just got attacked by a bat." But well, he's still with us, so either he's lying or it was
Hey, Brian, I'm pressing you here because the great Trish Johns is in earshot.
Yep.
What's your power ranking? What's your power rankings of the Johns crew? Give me the top 3.
1 second. Hold on, Fletch. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on speaker.
Put us on. So your power
1
rankings.
second.
Miller Kane has got one person only. It is Trish Johns, and there is postcodes after that.
I'd say JJ first.
Oh, Jackie.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know what, Fletch? You just don't really know me.
You're second, Trish. You are definitely second. You are definitely
mate,
second.
You can get to know, mate, would you like to get to know more, mate? We're swingers from way back.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I heard about that.
Okay,
Freddie sent you a
Trish,
present
Trish,
for your birthday.
Apologies, Trish, but we're doing this. Getting to know you. Let's go, Gibbo.
Getting to know you, getting to know all
Brian,
about you.
What we'd like to know about Trish.
You're asking the questions. She's a good
okay.
cook. I know she's a good cook.
Okay, the Italian Supremo is it. What's your go-to meal, Trish?
Oh, you know what? My go-to meal is my mum's penne pasta.
Oh,
yeah.
succulent.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's always a winner.
You do a good curry too.
Meh.
Trish, because
Yeah.
you've got the Italian blood, what about all these new, and it's not really new, but they're
No.
all the young influencers are making this vodka pasta.
Yeah.
Is that doesn't seem traditional Italian sort of pasta?
No, I
is it?
don't think it is. I think
No.
it's a fad. But you know what? I've had it myself. It's not bad.
Yeah, it isn't bad.
All it is, I mean, you know what? I just think all they do, really. I mean, is there vodka in it? Who knows? They just add a little cream to the passata sauce and make it a creamy passata sauce.
Yeah.
Cool, bud.
Yeah. You know, Matt.
Trish, can I ask you this? The Miller Canes
Yeah.
of the world who hold you up in
Yeah.
great
Stead?
reverence, Brian.
Oh,
What
God bless her.
What is it and why is it? Why do you command such reverence with this young folk, Brian?
I have no idea. I have no idea at all. I don't know.
On a different note, do you and Kobe want to join in the swinging stuff?
Well,
I don't know. You'd be best to ask Miller.
Yes, I agree. Trish, where are you going to go down there in Melbourne? Are you going to see a show, the Book of
I'm
Mormon?
still laughing at Matthew.
Nah. Ignore him, Joel. Joel, ignore him. That's what we do.
I can't ignore him.
I wanted to go to a show, but there's only Beetlejuice and
Oh, yeah.
Annie.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not really into either of those.
Nah, me neither. Is any about
Yeah.
your redhead child that's adopted?
Little Chickie. Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently
sure.
it's a great story. I've never seen it.
Yeah, we've got our own redheaded adopted kid here in the tourist, so he's winding us up too. We're getting
On a
wound up.
different note, Fletch, you're our youngest son. I believe he's heading up to Townsville. You and Hindy. Is that right?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, the Pie Man.
You've pitched him.
No, the Pie Man's got us into a gig. So it's me and Coop's the MC, and Hindy and I are up and back. The
Really?
good thing about Hindy, what I love when he organises things, he's always got to come back for something.
Yeah.
It's always like we can never have an overnighter. Which I
Wouldn't he and Bonnie be interested in joining the swingers group as well?
maybe.
Tourist married?
He's not yet. He's not yet.
Give up.
Oh, man.
Getting to know you.
It's getting busy around here, apparently.
I know.
Well, anyway,
That's those new medications you're on, Matthew, isn't it?
Oh, mate, absolutely.
You know
Strong
what?
like bull.
It is. It's
yes.
just Cat's Head Johns, I call him.
I tell you what, new tech, getting to know you, PNEU Tech, excellent stuff. Enjoy your weekend, folks. Fun, frivolity,
you guys.
all of that.
Good on you guys. Stay away from bats.
Righto.
See you, boys.
See you, Trish.
And we're soon to kick off round 18 of the National Rugby League, where the Bulldogs take on the Broncos. Accor Stadium, big win for the Broncos early in the year. This is an intriguing affair, Brian, where Matt Burton, we all thought that this would be the time for Lockie Galvin. We assumed that Matty Burton would be off to Origin camp. It has not played out that way. So Galvin remains as the utility for the Bulldogs, and Selwyn Cobbo goes to fullback, Brian.
Yeah, they're looking. They're in some form, the Broncos, aren't they?
Yep.
Just on the Galvin thing, I feel that last week had something to do with it. Because I just felt that they were going along nicely with Reid Marnie at 9, and they made that change for no reason. Because he wasn't out, he was still in the game. Reid Marnie wasn't playing badly. I felt that sort of contributed to their loss. They lost a little bit of momentum.
You felt like they just felt, we've got to get him out there.
Yeah, we've got him on the bench, we've got to use him.
Yeah.
Where, we've seen players over the years that don't necessarily get on,
No.
get on the field. So I'm thinking that maybe Coach Seraldo thought, I might treat it a little bit differently this week.
What do you? Can we go back to? I still think it's unusual why they changed Kiraz to the left.
Yeah.
There must have been a nod to say, mate, you're a chance of playing Origin here. I'm going to do the right thing by you. I reckon when it comes out in the wash, I bet you he does play. And I bet you it comes out in the wash. Serrato said, mate, I've got a heads up. You're going to play there. I wanted you to give the best chance and give you a game there on that left wing. That's my best guess. I'm only guessing. Do you reckon or not? Because it was an unusual change.
Was it just because they thought they had a better opportunity with Kiraz on the left? I don't know. I thought it was odd because they had a good combination going.
Yeah, it was just something that you don't often see out of the blue. The wingers just swap.
So do you feel that Laurie bumped him and said, mate, he's going to be playing, and when he does go, he's going to be playing left wing? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Nothing to do with marking Brian Todd?
No. I actually just think that there wouldn't have been any promises, but maybe they do talk, and you want to be talking, having good relationship with the coaches. Maybe he said, listen, hey, Ciro, there is significant doubt on Todd, and in the event that he's out.
Well, if it is, Sorrello's a Michael.
Of course, and I don't doubt that.
If that is, and it does come out in the wash,
yep.
He's put his state before club.
Correct, and I reckon he did do that. And that sort of action is great leadership.
But would Bulldogs fans be going, no? Well, if you're a Bulldogs fan, are you happy with that? If that was the reason why he played on the left.
Is it even better of a Michael act if he doesn't tell Jacob he's in the mix? He's just going, oh, I'm hearing he's in the mix. I might do the right thing by him and just give him a crack there. Do you reckon or not?
I don't know.
Anyway, I love the narrative. This is a tough. I'm tipping the Dogs.
I think
Haas and Carrigan.
I feel this is but I feel this is one of these upset games. I've gone the Dogs as well.
Yep.
But you were saying there's a couple of big outsiders. What are they paying?
Well, every time we've had these rounds, there's been massive upsets. So once again, you have all these pronounced favourites, but someone will get rolled.
$2.56. You win some, you lose more. I couldn't back the Dogs at $1.50.
Hey, by the way, Tootsie profitable again last night, so got one of the two. But if you backed them both, you would have had a win. So he's on a roll. You can't win them all.
What happened there? They got delayed. Was it wet? Got delayed by about 60 minutes. I got a birthday wish. Shout out to the Duck up there at Umina. He's 50 today.
Really?
Yes, Chrissy Young. Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday, Duck. Well, he shares a milestone with my daughter.
And Margot Robbie.
Yeah. All milestones. 35, 50, and 20.
And Gopher from Loveboat.
And what's her name? Marco, the one with all the shoes?
Polo.
Imelda.
Oh, Imelda Marcos.
Imelda Marcos. Over 1,000 pairs of shoes. She got extradited out of the country, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
She got wrist hold.
She was a bit naughty. Selwyn at fullback. Hopefully he has a big game, Selwyn. Hope he has a big game. This is the reason why they kept him.
Yep.
This is exactly the reason why they wouldn't let him go to the Dolphins, is because they needed backup.
And we're going to catch up with Josiah Karapani very soon, so we're looking forward to that. On Saturday, the Raiders host the Dragons at Geo Stadium. There is no Hudson Young, there is no Josh Papali'i. Both are in Origin camp, opposing each other. Of course, Hudson with the Blues, Josh with the Maroons, and the Dragons are missing 5 from the win over the Eels. So they've got a few outs. Halves battle, a battle of the youngsters in many ways, Strange and Fogarty. And King Tonga and Flanagan. So it would have been relieving for the Flanagan crew last week, Brian.
Yeah, they got the win. This is my crow. And Shawnee's lock, and my crow is Strange to get 3. I'm putting my Matt Johns hat on.
Yep.
We're looking in the crystal ball, and let's see what he can do.
He's a gun, isn't he?
He's so good. Close to the line. He's stronger than I thought.
Yep. Speaking of the Dragons, so Jonah Glover has been playing reserve grade, and, he says this through the Sydney Morning Herald. Dragons said they didn't have any more space in their roster for me next year. They were happy for me to take the opportunity at the Rabbitohs, and the Rabbitohs gave me a 2-year deal, so I thought that was a better opportunity. It's frustrating. I'm not playing NRL, but I'm just trying to do as much as I can in the New South Wales Cup. Obviously, Wayne Bennett and South like what I do, so I'm pretty excited to see if I can make the next step in the South Sydney colours.
Yep, good on you, young fella. But said this is more like it. So he was keen to stay at the Dragons, but he just thought there wasn't a space for him. On the other hand, this is what I'm talking about, the Talon de Silva thing. And we spoke yesterday how Jonah Pezzett has had ample opportunities to leave his club.
Yep.
I just feel sometimes these young fellas are just getting a bit too keen.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of money, Fletch.
I know it's a lot of money. I understand that. But he was on a pretty good wicket at West Tigers. He's a junior. And because you start, throwing your toys out of the cot because, I should be starting. Well, you shouldn't be starting in front of Happy Coruscant. That's one thing.
No.
You're on the bench.
Yeah.
You're on the bench. You are getting game time.
Yep.
Like, I just feel that these younger blokes, because they see other players going, it might not be the best for you. It was probably the best for Lockie Galvin to leave.
Yeah.
But because his best mate's going, get an opportunity there.
Yeah. If his name was Talon Fletcher, he goes, "Oh, Dad."
If he was to ask me, I would say no.
What, to stay at the Tigers
I
behind
would.
Appy and not get half the money?
He was on a pretty good wicket.
Not 650.
He wouldn't be on 650, but what's to say he has a stormer next year?
Yeah.
If I was Talon's father, I would have been advising him to have one more year at the Tigers. If you're a junior and you're there, well, they struggle to get juniors anyway. I mean, like a lot of clubs don't have many juniors coming through. So
Unlike
if you've got
your Roosters.
Well, the Roosters have, we don't have a big junior league. So that's even more, that's what I'm saying. I just feel they should have done more to keep their young kids.
Okay, news out of the Eels, of course, that's where he's going, is Talon De Silva. Jordan Samrani
Mickey
has secured his future also, Brian. So they're locking in a few of these youngsters, extending his contract through to the end of the 2027 National Rugby League season. The Cowboys hosting the Storm, QCB Stadium, Townsville. Tricky assignment. It kind of feels like Tyron Wishart-O'Clock, who's partnering Jerome Hughes in the halves. And the big watch is the young Queenslander, Jonah Pezzett.
Yes, son of Troy.
Yeah.
Storm for me. I just can't get around the Cowboys. They're a bit like the Titans for me. Some teams, you keep tipping them.
Yep.
And I'm just wiping them out.
Are you unsubscribing?
I'm unsubscribing.
Really?
I think the Storm, although they're missing a few stars as well, Cowboys are missing more, and they are more important to them.
So you
Storm for me.
Oh, okay.
Storm for me.
Smash.
It's a smash. It's not a double smash, but it's a smash. I like to double smash. I like to double smash 1063. I know that. And no, Lundy, it's not. Nutella on my crumpet is exactly what it means. I like Nutella on my crumpet. No metaphor for anything other than that, you
Lundy.
dirtbag, Lundy.
Ben from Newcastle, you're on my watch too, by the way. Roosters and the Tigers, Brian, Allianz Stadium, I believe, as Vossi and Brandy this morning had the great man, who's the mad stats? Wazza, the stats man.
Wazza?
The Roosters have not lost to the Tigers until Teddy's first game.
So Teddy's first game was 2018. They haven't lost in 7 years.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, to the Tigers.
Yeah,
To the Tigers.
I think it might continue.
He's
If they
a
had
stats
their Origin stars are out, but if they had they got no Buller, they got no Coruscant, they got no Jerome Luai. Where the points going to come from?
And they're going good, the Chooks.
They are going sneaky good.
Sneaky good.
And Teddy will get another 6 points. I said this, and I'm going to say it again. You can crow me. He's going to win the Dally M by a record margin. Record.
Really?
Tedesco will win by a record margin.
So you reckon when Fox pull it all together, who do a great job when it comes to Dally M night, it'll be, here they come, 800 metres to go. It's Metcalf, it's Tedesco, and then obviously
Teddy has been unbelievable this year.
So
probably his best. Well, Gibbo, you're a Rooster supporter, and you watch the Chooks very closely. He's in the points even when they get beat.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable this year, especially and considering that he's not playing Origin. I think that's what's been good for him. He took that freshen up last year.
Yep.
It's been good, and I think he spoke about how this year with the young players, he sort of wanted to take a sort of back seat a little bit and help him out, which I think he's done. He's been great. Dally M for sure. Sucks for Luke Metcalf, but
yeah, well, that's
because he would have been the guy, right?
Yeah, but I just think no one's been taking points off him.
Okay, can I just throw this out? And you know I hate a new idea.
You?
But golfers every day of the week, every day of the year, it is the course difficulty.
Slope rating?
If you smash the worst team in the comp, you get 3 points.
You smash the worst team in the comp, yes.
And if you're the fourth best player in the best game of the round, you get no points.
So we're waiting then ladder position by opposition, is that?
Well, I reckon if it would add intrigue, come Dally M night, that you only took maybe the best. Like, so maybe the only the games you played against the top 8 qualified. So, something like there has been Dally M winners who literally beat no one, but they scooped up upon prizes.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But you still need.
What are you leading the fact
I
that
don't know
bigger
the answer.
games should be worth more?
Well, I don't know the answer, but what I'm saying is it is like...
It's not fair. It doesn't give a true indication of how dominant a player was.
It doesn't. No,
because
it doesn't. No.
Players that dominate in bigger games are getting the same points as players who are playing lower place teams, same result.
I would say this, as much as this. More often than not, the player who the public deemed as the best player and most influential player that year has not won it too many times.
Okay.
So people are talking about Nathan Cleary being an immortal. Nathan Cleary has been the premier player in the team who's been in the last 5 grand finals.
Yep.
Nathan Cleary has won how many Dally M's?
0.
Is that not wrong?
Well, he's been injured. He's missed a fair chunk of footy through injury.
Yeah,
Origin.
Correct, Gibbo. Correct. I get that. Rugby league is based on injury, right?
Yeah.
So are we just having an award where you get it if you don't get injured? Who's the most?
Like
Well,
it's the best of the regular
but that
season,
that
though.
also comes into it.
Like, Gibbo, come on. So are you telling me
Well,
in
the
the
Dally
last?
M's before the grand finals given out.
Yeah.
It's grand final week, so
Yeah.
it doesn't take into account grand final. So
Are you
none of that
comfortable?
matters.
Are you comfortable? Right. Are you comfortable that if Nathan Cleary retired today, he's never once been our Player of the Year?
Well, yeah, I don't think he would. Would he really care, Joel?
No, he
Like,
wouldn't
he's won-
care.
He's won competitions. I'm comfortable.
Well, if no one cares, let's not have the like. No one cares.
I mean, no,
Jerome Hughes was very.
Give it to anyone. Just,
Jerome
no
Hughes
one
was
cares.
very dominant last year.
Yeah.
Very dominant.
Yes.
He is the incumbent.
Yes.
Ponga was the year before.
Do you agree with that? I feel Jerome played a better year than Nathan last year.
Wasn't injured.
Yeah. To that point, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
In 23, this is the Kalen Ponga era where he
Sean
went berserk.
Johnson.
He went berserk on those 10. But
Look, take your pick and debunk what I'm saying. I'm just purely saying we're talking about a guy who probably will be an immortal.
he'll get one. He'll get one.
But how could you play 5 straight grand finals, win 2 Clive Churchill medalists? You're the halfback, the Pied Piper, and you're not once won it.
Well, he's had help. He's had some handy players around him who take points off him.
Hypothetical. Here,
Yes.
And just before we move to that,
Is
James
your girlfriend?
Tedesco,
Is your girlfriend cheating? Is this a
No.
hypothetical?
So SEN have always got it right, though, Joel. You could talk about the Dally M's, but the SEN player ratings right now for the Player of the Year: Tedesco 1, Pappy 2, Metcalf 3. Agree with that? Oh, we shouldn't have said that. Hypothetical. Okay, Cleary gets a Man of Steel before a Dally M.
That won't be happening.
Well, I'm
He's
a betting man, Fletch.
He's not going. And
Joel,
I like your
come on.
hypothetical the other day that you let in my man, Ducks and Drapes,
What do you mean?
about the Kiraz versus To'o. I've been thinking about that.
Mate, we started our show yesterday with this, and the board exploded, and rugby league narrative has exploded on the back of your comments.
I wasn't. I told that to you boys
In
the
confidence.
green room. No, not in confidence. I'm just throwing it out there.
So what was it?
I was just saying what we're going to see happen Friday night. Bulldogs will play Broncos.
Yeah.
And then we'll get Brian To'o will be out injury. Carraz will go from 18th man into the side. And Matty Burton, who would have already played, so he's played his game, he'll play 18th man.
Crow yourself. Crow yourself.
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about that.
What were you talking
I
about?
thought you were talking about the one why they moved Carraz to left wing.
No,
to get in. Was that your little?
That was my go.
Oh, sorry.
That was my go.
Apologies.
We're taking votes off each other here, Fletch.
You are.
You know how it is.
That's why.
Yes. Here we go. This is from the Newport Rooster.
Yeah.
Sugar's Point, best illustrated by Turbo playing the bottom teams across the finals, final 6 or 7 rounds, including Tigers twice, when defenders didn't have an incentive to tackle him.
Yeah.
But what about the ranked teams then? Like if you're weighting teams like that, say if you're the Titans and you're AJ Brimson playing well every second week, getting a point in a beaten side, wouldn't in your Sugars, Dally M's be weighted more?
No.
But why not? If they're playing Melbourne, who second on the ladder.
In the sugar world, ideally, I would like whoever won my award, ideally, to be a major factor grand final day. That's what the whole comp's about,
That's what
right?
the Clive Church was for.
Okay.
2022, Nico Hines, Player of the Year. 2021, Tom Trebojevic, to our man, Newport Rooster. 2020, Jackie Whiten.
Yeah, none of those three played in the grand final.
Yeah.
Keep going.
No, I'm just doing since Nathan.
Sorry. Jackie White, did he play in the grand final?
No, that was 2019.
Yep. No, 19, they played in the grand final.
Yeah, I'm talking about this was 20.
Okay.
2020, Jackie Whiten.
Yep.
Got the player of the year. Then Tommy T didn't play in the grand final. Nico. Maybe we could have an award that counts for semi-finals as well, like the
MVP finals. Don't they
MVP
do that in
finals.
Do they do that in the NBA?
Yeah, Dally M, which would be harder, to your point. You're playing against much better teams. There's more on the line. You play under pressure. Finals MVP.
How can you have more players than not missing the grand final and they are deemed the best player in the competition, please?
Okay.
Please. If Nathan Cleary has not won the best player of the competition, stop bullying me, tourist.
Yeah, this one sums it up. This exactly sums it up. Hey, boy, the last 2 years you've been suspended. That's why he hasn't won it. My name is Jason.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah, that's fantastic, Jason, and I agree.
You're still here? We'll see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio. Because if you don't, you're an A grade. But if you do, you're the absolute Mickey.